Hey guys, it's Carolyn from Homesteading Family, and welcome back to my series on household management. Today we're going to be talking about how to help your children have productive mornings. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I gave you guys a video about how I make sure I have productive mornings and how I start my day in a way that gives me the greatest boost to a great attitude, to feeling good, taking care of myself, and still being productive all day. But here's the thing, we need to train our children to have that same success in their day. I find this is very, very important. And if you're a household who would, like so many households are right now, who find yourself having to work from home, school from home, and trying to be productive in a household with a lot of people in it, especially if this is a new situation to you, then the way that we really need to start is at the beginning. And by at the beginning, I mean at the beginning of your day. It's not enough for mom to have a productive morning, although that's a great start, or dad to have a productive morning. Yes, guys, I know you are out there, even if I'm speaking mostly to the women. And we love having you here, guys. So even if I'm talking to the ladies, we love having you here. But we also need to encourage and train our children on how to have a productive morning themselves. Some of that has to do with just expressing your expectations and living up to your expectations, standing by your expectations. Others has to do with training people in habits. So I'm going to give you an example of how the mornings work for our children and some expectations that happens in our house. Now, most of the time, we have a time set that our children can get up. We have very early risers, and we've actually had to tell them they can't get up before a certain time so that we can have a nice, peaceful morning in the house before all the little people are awake. For the children who are teenagers, we let them get up whenever they want in the morning, even if it's early, because they're expected to keep everything quiet still. But we have a couple people who like to get up, make themselves a quiet cup of tea, and sit out by a wood-burning cook stove to have their morning routine. That's just fine with us as long as the morning can stay quiet. So for most of the household, the expectations in the morning are that they're going to wake up, make their bed, get themselves dressed, brush their hair and their teeth, have a little bit of quiet time to read their Bibles and pray, and then to move right into their morning chores. They all know what their morning chores are. Now, some of the expectations that go along with this are things that Josh and I require of ourselves also. One is that we don't walk around in pajamas at all, and we expect that there aren't going to be pajamas really seen out in the public areas of the house. Not that we're rigid about that, and not that there aren't moments when it's okay, especially, if somebody's ill and they're just up to get themselves a drink of water, or sometimes in the evenings we'll all change into our pajamas and then have a family reading time or a family movie night, something like that. So we're not rigid about it, but the general expectation is that you're gonna get up and you're gonna get dressed before you come out into a public space. Now, it's a wonderful thing to help your children have quiet moments in the morning. If you are religious, then having some prayer time, some religious time, some reading time in your Bible is a wonderful thing. Even if you're not, having some quiet, reflective time is helpful for all of us first thing in the morning. And it's a wonderful pattern to help your children develop first thing. So we start off very, very gently, and usually we start with toddlers who just have a picture Bible. And we just say, when you wake up, you can look at your Bible for a few minutes. They love getting to do that. They see the big kids doing it, and so they love getting to spend a minute looking through their very own Bible and, having that time in the morning. As they get older, they learn to read, and it's just a very natural progression for them to pick up their Bible and read just a little bit and spend some quiet time. And so that is just a gentle encouragement on our side. At the table time, when we're all sitting down for breakfast, we'll often discuss what each person is reading. And so it's a great time for a very gentle check-in, no high pressure, but we like to check in with everybody. What are you reading today? And what were you reading today? And this just gives a wonderful discussion, but some gentle encouragement to keep doing your morning reading and having your morning quiet time. After that, we do encourage people to get dressed, brush their teeth, and brush their hair and get themselves ready for the day. And this is so important, whether you're a child, you're an adult, you're anybody. Getting yourself ready for the day just sets the tone that I'm up and I'm ready to accomplish something today. I am prepared for what's going to come and I'm putting my work hat on. So this is a wonderful way to set the tone that just says, we're going to do something, so go ahead and get up and get it going. After that comes chore times in our household. Chore times in the morning, I'll do a whole video just on that, but generally that is the basic chores that just have to get done first thing in the morning. Many of the children take care of animals outside. Sometimes we have we have a child who unloads the dishwasher and reloads any of the last little straggling dishes that showed up between dinner and breakfast. Things like that to get the day going. These chores don't take very long. They're actually fairly quick chores and they're pretty easy to accomplish. We make sure every child knows exactly what they have to do and it is the same every single day of the week. That way, when you're a little groggy in the morning, you don't have to try to remember what your chore is. You just get to jump right into it, get it done, get back in. Now, each child also has an area of the house so that they have responsible for keeping tidy. So after they finish their chores, they just go through their area of the house and give it a quick tidy. Usually this takes less than 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes less than 2 minutes. And it's a very just quick tidy, and this just helps our house to always stay in a state of tidiness. Doing these different things sets up not only the household, but the children themselves into a state of productivity where they realize they have purpose, they're needed, they're an integral part of a household, they're doing something that helps everybody and gets the day off to the right start of not lazing around, not sitting around watching TV, not doing video games, but just getting up and getting going. This is what happens in our house 7 days a week. We do sleep in a little bit on the weekends, so we do get a little looser, a little more relaxed on the weekends. So it's nothing about this is very rigid or hard. And we kind of flow in and out of seasons. If there's an illness in the household, we sleep in a little bit. If it's early summer and it's getting light really early, then we get up a little bit earlier and get our stuff done. After everybody finishes their jurisdiction or their area of responsibility, we make a point that if breakfast is not ready yet, they need to move on to a productive part of their day. This is not a time to start sitting around, not a time to start reading a bunch of books, certainly not a time to turn on a television or device or anything like that. We don't really have access to those things at all during the day. But a time to start productivity and productive work. If it's a school day, then they jump right into their morning school routine. If it is maybe in the summer, we're gonna do gardening, we're gonna clean the house, we're gonna do different things, then they need to come check in and find out what they'll be working on that day so that they can jump right into that and spend the time that they have until breakfast productively. Now, I've got to tell you, we do encourage a lot of free time during the day, and it really picks up in the afternoon where we give hours of free time. However, we find that starting the day off productively, both for adults and for children, just sets that pace that our best morning hours are getting used to full advantage, and it's a wonderful, wonderful way to start off the day and help your children develop a habit of starting off their day productively and just naturally without somebody having to tell them what to do at every step. But that's just what we do, is we get up, we take care of ourselves, we get going, and we do the things that we need to do in the day. We are going to be transitioning to talking about chore time in the upcoming weeks. So keep an eye out for those videos, and thanks for joining me.